the amount of defence we had to do in that first half was unbelievable. You know, probably no different from what we've done against Hull. What we had to do at times against Leeds, and yet again, the boys have found a way. You know, my press conferences are pretty boring at the moment, and I'm repeating myself every week, but it's the truth. We're just trying hard. They're just trying hard. They're trying ridiculously hard, and they're playing hard for each other. You know, that's not me. That's not me. That's them. They've made obviously a commitment to themselves and each other to get out there and work hard for each other. And you know, proof's in the pudding. They got the result yet again.
Given that it's only 2 points now between you and the top 8, does that change the dynamic slightly in that you're not sort of coming from way back now?
Playoffs haven't really been on our radar. You know, automatically it becomes on your radar because where you're sitting in the competition. It's going to be great for the club to get some press about playoffs. But you know, we've got to, when we go away from home, we play Warrington Saints, Catalans. You know, if we're going to give them that much amount of ball, we're not. No matter how tough you play, you're not going to be able to get out of it. So, why effort gives you a chance of winning a game? Because sometimes you have to be a bit smarter than that, and we struggled at times with that. And we got to somehow keep that level of effort, but come up with a little bit better footy on top of it.
It's that 1 minute that changed it, wasn't it? Marvan stopped just short at that end, and then element of luck for where Tim was stood to be able to pounce on the try, but Richard Moore's hit that dislodged the ball was something else, wasn't it? Yeah,
too. Like, you know, Richie Moore's borderline offside there. You know, you'd have to have a good look. I thought that's what they were going to have a look at. He was up very fast, but you know, Richie Moore came up with 2 massive plays for us. First of all, Reece Lynn, I think, got to, or Jimmy Kynehurst got to Avan with Reece Lynn, and for a front row to come up with that play, the next play, typifies my team. We had no right to stop that try. You know, they had every right to score there, and we had no right to stop it. And that was the turning point. It was the turning point of the game.
Do you feel we should have got a win out of that?
I do, yeah. Before we go in, it's like you've got to give Wakefield worked really hard defensively. We weren't our sharpest in the first half with our attacking play, but they had lots of opportunities. They had lots of field position. I thought defensively we were really strong. And Wakefield stuck in the fight, and I think James had said in the week they just felt like if they could stay in the game, especially at home, they always get something out of it. They're stuck in the game. I mean, it's like at 4-0 at half time, they're still in that game, and they've had no field position, they've had no territory. They don't really deserve to be, and you've got to give them more credit for that. When I think it was 2 different games, first and second half. Like I said, they came out with a little bit more energy, and we just made a couple of mistakes trying to force some ball, our van break, and then the mess up on the back of that. Like I said, they should be points straight away. And you try not to, but you lose a lot. You've lost loads of faith in our refereeing system. It's one of those kind of strange things along the way where they check everything one week and then check nothing the next week, and then the referee's telling the players, yeah, they'll check everything. And that's the words, and I was in the box above, I could hear him saying, yeah, they'll check the offside to see if it's in. They don't check the offside. I speak to the video referee after, and he says, the referee didn't ask for it. I said, well, we don't know where we are with it at the moment. We're really frustrated. It's really frustrating for a coach because the lack of consistency is causing things in the guy game that nobody really understands what's going on.
Was that offside from Richard Moore coming out?
It was miles. It was 3 metres offside. It was more offside than Pat Van was on the weekend when he scored a full-length try. Again, that's the lack of consistency across the game. And I don't know what James said, but the strange pattern he gives in penalties about hands in when there's lots of hands in on the ball on both sides, and then he pulls one out of the bag from nowhere. The first penalty with Alex Gerrard with leaning onto a man, and everybody's leaning on. It's like there's no consistency in what we're applying, and it's really frustrating. And I'm frustrated today because we've lost a game that I felt we could have won. But I also think that the lack of consistency from that side of it is really making every single coach in the league very, very frustrated. You don't trust what's going to happen.
So, I was just going to say, do you feel like that's across the league?
I think every coach you speak to him. Well, I know that Sean Wayne's come out and said that he doesn't speak to him anymore. So you feel that way as well because you just don't know what you're going to get week after week.
Is that sort of the main topic of conversation, like coaches' meetings when you sort of all get together? Or?
No, there's lots of things we talk about. what we're doing on weekends. And this is not detracting from the fact that Wakefield fought really hard and played really well tonight in lots of parts of their game. I also felt that we did a lot of good things. Our attack wasn't very slick, but we built some pressure defensively. We seem to be that kind of team at the moment where we throw a lot of effort into controlling our defensive efforts and what we do in our defence and our control the ruck, and we just lose a little bit of power in our attack. We come onto our attack and we're really slick, but defensively we drop off. I think that's the learning process that as a group we're still going through. I know we keep falling over, but I still honestly believe that we're falling forward. I do think that we played particularly well these last 2 weeks. We just haven't got anything on the board to show for it, which is all what it's all about.
Running results must be a concern for you.
Not a concern, yeah, they're disappointed. It's not a concern. The concern is the fact that we know that we're, like I say, in redress, we want to win games. That's what it's all about. Our performance levels are getting better, but the sides we're playing against are sticking in there as well. And say if it was a boxing match across the boom and look at a lot of the stats tonight, then you'd have stopped it early. Wakefield, a lot of determination, stuck in there and got a little bit of rub of the green, and then they scored a really good try from Scruton and got the nose in front and just weren't willing to let go, just willing to work hard for each other. And that's great credit to this group of players at this stage of the year. And Tim Smith gives them a lot of composure, playing particularly well and with the ball in hand and just giving them some structure. He helps them in the second game and helps everybody else. And so I'm disappointed in the first try. It hits Paddy first, Paddy's catching the ball. I don't think Rich is that quick, if I'm honest. He was a long way offside, and it's especially in the back last week when it wasn't a try. I'd hold my hands up, but it was a try by this much last week. The referee, linesman calls it, he doesn't do it, you don't see it every week. And then in the first half when we drop a ball, they're all 3 yards offside of the line. The linesman doesn't call it then, it's just play on. So where's the consistency in that kind of thing? So when we're on their line and causing them lots of pressure, the linesman puts flag up when they get off the line quick and puts on pressure with a drop ball, it's all just play on. So, and just, again, the frustration more than anything else is just for the players because of the amount of effort and energy they put in. And they really hurt tonight. We've got Danny Galeer's lost a couple of teeth, we've got a couple of lads who were smashed in the face. Wakefield lads are probably the same, but they're not going to feel any pain because they got on the wrong right side of it. Just the frustration of some of the decisions when cognitively it just hurts you.